two stories about flying. Part 1, his first flight. So this is divided into two parts and we will talk about his first flight. About the author, as we already know, Liam O'Flaherty is the author or the writer of this story. From 28 August 1986 to 7th September 1984 was his span of life. Was a major Irish novelist, short story writer, and must be ranked as one of the foremost socialist writers in the first part of 20th century, writing about the common people's experience and from their perspective. So this was the speciality of Liam O'Flaherty. He used to write about the common people or from the story of the common people. Liam O'Flaherty served on the Western Front as a soldier in the Irish Guards from 1916 and was badly injured in 1917. After the war, he was founding member of the Communist Party of Ireland. A native Irish speaker, O'Flaherty wrote almost exclusively in English, except for a play, a notable collection of short stories and some poems in the Irish language. Now, theme about the story that we are going to do. The theme of the story, his first flight, is how a bird overcomes his fear and takes his first flight. It is an interesting story of a hesitant and timid seagull learning the art of flying. While his two brothers and sisters had already learned, his fear and hesitation stopped him from doing so. His diving at the fish due to hunger proved a blessing in disguise. After a shaky start, he spread out his wings and started flying upwards and downwards. It was his first flight. The author gives a message that no one attains success instantly. Repeated trials and errors lead him to success, and inner strength and determination is necessary to overcome fear. Introduction about the chapter. The story His First Flight is an account of a young bird who is afraid to fly for the first time. He thinks that his wings would not support him. Despite his younger siblings flying fearlessly with much shorter wings, he could gather the courage to do the same. He was punished to stay hungry. If he did not try to fly. Thus, it was his mother who compelled him to fly by using food as a trap. The lesson reflects how one hesitates to take the first step and that fear is all in the mind. One should trust one's ability because the fear of suffering is worse than the suffering itself. Summary of the story that we are reading now or we are going to read. The story His First Flight is written by Liam O'Flaherty and is based on a young seagull who was afraid to take his first flight because he feared that his wings would not support him while flying. All his siblings took the plunge to fly fearlessly in the open air despite having shorter wings than him. On the contrary, the young bird could not muster up courage to take the plunge due to distrust on his wings. Whenever he tried to come forward towards the brink of the ledge while attempting to fly, he became afraid and went back. His parents constantly upbraided and threatened him that unless he flew away, he would have to starve alone on the ledge, but all their efforts went in vain. He would just watch his parents teaching his siblings how to skim the waves and dive for fish. One fine day, the whole family flew to a big plateau and taunted the young seagull for his cowardice. As the sun rays blazed on his ledge, he could feel the heat and was starving since the previous nightfall, that means 24 hours. The young bird begged his mother to bring him some food. He uttered a joyful scream when his mother quickly picked a piece of fish and flew across him. He leaned out eagerly and jumped at the fish, exasperated by hunger. Suddenly, he fell outward in the open space, and a monstrous terror seized him as he could feel that he was falling downwards. The next moment, he felt his wings spread outwards and he was able to fly fearlessly. Finally, the young seagull took his first flight and soared higher and skimmed through the waves and dived along with his siblings. Well, there are a few main points also in this explanation. So I'm not reading out the main points. It will be played. What you can do is that you can see through it whenever you need and note down these main points of the story for remembrance. There are quite a few more main points to this.